Good afternoon, everybody. We're gonna start the press conference with Team New Zealand. We're very happy to have the head coach, Tony Readings, and Abby Ersek, and Sarah Gregories. I would like to know from you, all of you, how do you feel for the tournament so far? How well are you prepared?
Unbelievably excited would be an understatement. I think it's been weeks, months, years of hard work building towards this. So now it's at the point of, like, let's just get this thing started. Let's show everyone what we've been working on, what we've been practicing, what we've been living and breathing for the last wee while. So just unbelievable excitement at this point for me.
Yes, Tony?
Yeah, pretty much the same from my perspective. We worked so hard to get to this point, particularly from the last Olympics, and everything's been building to peak at this event, and we've probably been ready for 2 or 3 days now, so we're just really excited and can't wait for the game to get underway.
I'd be similar. I think for me, being at my third World Cup and going from a team where we're just participating to now where we can be a team that can be a little bit more of a threat, I think that's exciting for us. So along the same lines as what Tony and Sarah said, we're excited and we just wanted to start and get it underway.
Thank you. Now we open the floor to the media. Yeah. The gentleman in the middle.
Abby with John Strong with Fox Sports in the U.S. I'm curious, it is your third World Cup, but with a new coach, seemingly a new philosophy, does it feel particularly different, the run-up and the anticipation of this World Cup from the previous two?
Yeah, definitely. You say new, but we've had Tony in for quite a while now. He's relatively well established. But yeah, we do have that confidence. And even if it was a new coach, we'd still have that confidence. I think the core group of players is still relatively the same. The base experience is a lot higher as well. So, when you're in your first World Cup, we had probably 20, 30 caps max between us, and now we've got players with over 100 caps. So I think even in terms of experience, that helps us a lot, and we can build upon that as well.
And Tony, my question for you, it's a 3-game group stage, but third-place teams getting into the knockout stage. Have you talked about the possibility that a win tomorrow night potentially could be all you need, and the significance of getting a result in this first game for the format of this year's tournament?
Yeah, we haven't really spoke about results at all for us, and we placed a real large emphasis and focus on just making sure we focus on our performance. And if you start thinking about the outcomes now, you're already thinking ahead of yourself, and you need to take care of for the job at hand. So it's our performance we're really looking on, and it's a bit cliche, but for us, we'll be looking at each game to put in a performance that's better than our opposition. And we'll worry about the group stages and things like that as we go. But for us, we're not searching for third place. We'll be searching for top of the group as well. So it's every single game is going to be a focus for us, where we can look into putting a performance which is going to be good, but hopefully we're going to grow through the tournament as well to the latter stages.
Next question, please.
Hi, Abby. Danielle here. You guys obviously have a ton of experience on your team. You're playing in your third World Cup. One of the players with a little bit less experience plays next to you, and Rebecca Stott. Can you talk a little bit about her and really what she brings to your team, even though she's got a little less experience than most of you out there?
Yeah, I think in our team and in our culture and our environment, we really we have an environment where we allow people to bring their strength regardless of the experience that they have. So if we have a new player coming in, we encourage them to bring their strengths, and if they make a mistake, it's okay. We have a lot of high pressure situations at training that we train through, so I think her stepping into this World Cup isn't going to be a problem for her. In terms of her experience, she's got roughly 30, 40-ish caps now, which is a good amount of experience. It's not like she has 1 or 2, so the confidence that we have in her and that she's shown over the past few games playing against top teams like America and Japan, she's shown her class and she's shown what she can do. So the confidence that we have in her as a group and myself as the captain is huge.
Okay.
Hi, Hi, I'm Angela with Reuters Television. I'm just wondering for you guys, with so much of the world's focus being on the FIFA bribery scandal, does that pose a distraction for you when you play? And, how do you play through that with so much of the attention being on something else besides your actual game?
Yeah, so for us, we speak a lot about, when you go to a World Cup and you need to put all your energy in just ensuring that you perform. So we're very clear on the things that we spend our time thinking about and putting our attention to, and also the things that we can't spend time that isn't going to impact our performance. And like this, for example, will be a good example of a thing which isn't going to impact our performance. And if we spend time thinking about distractions which we have no control over, then that's going to take away from our performance. So our sole focus has been, particularly since we left the New Zealand shores, has been focusing completely on what we can control. We can't control, can't control things that happen outside of football. So it's just completely making sure that we perform to our potential, and that's where we spend all our energy.
Next question. Yeah.
Sarah, I'm curious, off the friendly with the United States, between that and then the friendly with Japan coming in, what were the biggest thing you guys learned and took away from that experience that, A, made the result better against Japan, but also that you can apply potentially to a big crowd here tomorrow night in a big stadium on a big stage?
Yeah, the experience in America was tough for a lot of reasons. The huge crowd, fantastic support. The Americans always have that, and we knew that going in, and we know that we'll experience that tomorrow and throughout the tournament. So we took a lot of lessons from that. It was certainly one of those things that you're, in a way, appreciative of learning the lesson at that point, as opposed to learning those same lessons tomorrow night. So I think you could see in the turnaround between the American game and the Japan game how, studious and how hardworking our team is, that we took that on board, took it on the chin, and used it as motivation to push forward, more towards this tournament, and to putting in performances that are a better reflection of who we are. And we did that against Japan, and we're certainly in a good place now because of that experience to do that in the next few games.
Next question. Do we have more questions? We conclude the press conference? Yeah, another one?
Sure, why not? Tony, curious, I know we had a call with you a couple weeks ago talking about Netherlands a little bit, but now that you guys are closer, you look at them, what are the particular challenges that they face? What are the particular keys for you guys that you're expecting in the match tomorrow night?
Yeah, we know that every single game in our group, particularly our group, is going to be tight and tough. I mean, the difference between the highest ranked team, which is Canada, and us, is pretty tight. So every game is going to be close, and this one will be no different. And I mean, Holland are 12th in the world for a reason, and that's because they're a very good team. And of all the teams that I've seen play in recent times, they're probably the one that really embraces possession style of football more than most teams. That they've got the players to do it, they play to their strengths, and probably very similar to us, is in their whole aim is to control the possession in the game, which is the same as us, and to really earn the right to score goals and get into those goal-scoring positions. So it'll be a real good test of two teams that are very similar in that regard. And they've got some real key individuals up front, which as well, which we're fully aware of, and we've been working hard to make sure we can nullify. But at the same time, we've seen some gaps in their defending and things as well that we're going to look to exploit. And so we'll just be making sure. I mean, our real focus has been on just accentuating our strengths in these last 2 weeks, because we know that if our players perform to their potential, then we can beat anyone in the tournament. So hopefully tomorrow that will happen, and that can be our first step on a really successful tournament.
Tony, you were just speaking sort of to the talent that is within your group and just how close everyone is ranked. Going back to that USA game, I remember you told us that your team sort of gave the Americans too much respect in that game. How do you guard against doing that against some of these other nations in your group?
Yeah, definitely we did on that day. We've got some very, very good players in our team, and when they perform to their potential, is they can outperform any opponent, and when we do it as collectively as a team, we can outperform opposition. And yeah, in that game, it was a game where we did give a little bit too much respect to the opposition, and I think, as Sarah said, the lessons we learned from that is we can't do that, because if you're playing against the best teams in the world, and we've got 3 of them in our group, of 3 of the best teams, is you have to play to your potential. If you just hold back a little bit, these guys are too good, and they'll be able to overcome you. And then the big difference between a USA game for us and the Japan game probably epitomized the different approach that we've taken and the players have adopted on the pitch, is saying, well, I need to take this challenge head on. I need to be better than my immediate opponent. I've got to bring my strengths and my X factor to the game, because we may win some games by just doing our roles and performing okay, but we won't win the World Cup. And you know, that's our aim as a team. So we need to make sure that players are bringing their strengths. Otherwise, yeah, we won't be performing to our potential.
We take one more question. Do we have more questions? Okay, we'll conclude the press conference, and thank you very much for your attendance, and good luck for tomorrow's match. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.